Hello, everyone. Let's just wait for one more minute before we begin this webinar. Okay, so let's start. I'll be unmuting you guys now. However, please be on mute unless you are asking a question. Let's avoid background noise. Right, I'll be sharing my screen. All right. So, yeah. Hi, everyone, and welcome to EduPristine webinar, specifically on risk management and pertaining to the FRM program, right, which is offered by GARP. So, in this webinar, the objective will be understand what is the role of risk. Guys, is background noise. Yes, as suggested, please be on mute unless you are speaking or asking question. Right. So, yeah. So, in this webinar, we'll be discussing that how risk management has evolved and why risk management is one of the important tasks for every bank, and not just bank, about for every financial institution. Uh, right. We'll go into details how the exam looks like at the FRM level 2, level 1, what kind of topics are there, how difficult, how easy it is, and then also what kind of career opportunity you will expect once you are a FRM certified risk professional. Right. So these are certain type of questions that we will be addressing in this webinar. Right. So first of all, FRM is a certification course, right? It is offered by GARP. That's an organization based out in US. Uh, GARP stands for Global Association of Risk Professionals. So, yeah, uh, it's a certification which requires you to clear two exams, right? Two exams, and then also to showcase 2 years of work experience. And if you clear the two exams and you showcase them 2 years of work experience, then you will be a certified FRM, financial risk manager. You will be a certified financial risk manager, right? So we don't have option. Let's just read one of the question. We don't have an option to speak if there's any question. Yes, you can. You can speak. I've unmuted everyone. The only thing is, please unmute yourself only when you are asking a question. Otherwise, please keep yourself on mute. Otherwise, you can unmute yourself and ask any question in between as well. Or you can type in the chat. Either ways, it's fine. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. The FRM exam is conducted across the world, right? Uh, every nation that you can name, the FRM exam is conducted there. It's a globally recognized certification, first of all, right? Uh, now, to be more specific, right, regarding FRM exam perspective, we have two levels, right? Level one, level two. Level one kind of sets your basics clear, like your knowledge on derivatives, uh, futures, forwards, options, bonds, and whatnot. So basically, you are expected to learn a lot of derivatives in FRM level 1 exam, right? Apart from that, there are quantitative concepts that you are supposed to learn. So it's a mix of two things. It's a mix of your quantitative skills, right? Your, you can say, mathematics or statistics, plus financial knowledge on derivatives and financial products. So FRM course is a combination of these two things, right? I'll talk a bit more in detail about what exactly or how exactly the course is planned out. But yeah, just to give you a brief, you can expect a mix of two things: financial knowledge plus knowledge of mathematics and statistics. Right. Yeah, we'll be answering the question on the career aspirations when it comes to FRM, like once you clear FRM exam, right? Yeah, so JRP was founded in 1996, right? Right now, there are over 2 lakhs of people who are FRM certified. Again, not a great number when it comes, or if you compare to any other certification, right? FRM has become a benchmark when it comes to uh, risk management jobs, to be more specific. Now, when I say risk management jobs, so you can relate it in two ways. First of all, you can put it in two brackets. One bracket is if you are directly, working for a bank or a financial institution, right? Over there, what kind of financial risk management jobs will be there? The kind of jobs in risk management will be uh, financial modeling, right? The most important task of a risk manager, that is financial modeling. Now, in financial modeling, specific to predictive modeling, and when we say predictive modeling, it's all more about prediction of defaults. For example, if a bank has a loan portfolio, how much of those loan portfolios are supposed to default, right? Let's suppose a bank has given 1000 loans in a city. So how will bank know that out of 1000 loan that has been given out, how many will be paid back? Will 50 people don't pay back? Will 10 people don't pay back? Or will 500 people won't pay back? So such kind of predicted modeling is an example of the financial modeling job. Apart from
Oh,
that, yeah,
sorry, I have a question.
yeah.
So this modeling that you're talking about is it's part of data science that I've studied before. So it's how,
Mhm.
like, what factors are involved during a risk manager to predict these uh, these kind of figures.
So basically, when we talk about a financial model or a predictive model, right? So kind of factors vary from quantitative to qualitative, right? There are factors which are pure numbers, how the performance of that customer, that company has been in the past. We can talk about the subjective factors also, right? So financial modeling involves a mix of both. The way it is gone goes about is there are methods, the most commonly used, right? So logistic regression, for example, that's the most common method which is used for this probability of default modeling. Now it's not just a probability of default modeling, it's just an example. There are other kind of modeling also, right? For PD, as I mentioned, logistic regression will be a way forward. Variables will vary, quantitative, qualitative, and so on. Now now there is financial modeling which is also related to global macros, probably, right? How the economies are performing, how a developing country is performing. right? Or probably talking about the market factors, like how the interest rate, which trend the market interest rates are going to follow. Then probably it's more about model risk management, right? If there is a robust model that has been built, what kind of how will you maintain it? What kind of factors will you? What kind of governance will you have around those models, right? So model governance is another kind of job set. Model management, another kind of job set, right? Financial modeling itself, like the people who actually build the model, is another job set. So there are many varieties to it. Now there is another important, right, in this entire loop. There is one more important thing, is like risk reporting piece, right, which is separate from financial modeling. In risk reporting, the way FRM certified people are employed in the industry is that there are front office traders who take different derivatives position, different exotic financial products positions, right? Those are not commonly available to normal investors or retail investors. So how risky are those? So probably modeling what kind of loss can we expect, doing stress testing around the portfolio. What bad can happen? How much of portfolio can I lose in one day? How much of the portfolio can I lose in 7 days or 30 days? So such kind of risk reporting is also done, right? And as of course, as the trader keeps on changing their positions, the model needs to be adjusted as per the the kind of financial assets are there in the portfolio. So this is the second fragment of this. One is financial modeling, the other is more of risk reporting, right? These are the two important aspects where the FRM certified people are employed. Now apart from that, it's not just the financial institutions or the bank, right? So then there are now talking more from Indian perspective, right? Because that is more from a global perspective. If you go and join the bank, and we all know those kind of opportunities are limited, right? Only the top talent, the top tier talent, is able to get into, let's suppose, a big bank, into a financial modeling aspect. Yeah, but risk reporting is something which is fairly common. I've seen a lot of FRM certified people getting into risk reporting and the risk management kind of jobs. And apart from that, the consulting firms, that is the place where I see most of people in India who complete their FRM certification, who end up going. When I say consulting, we can talk about the big four, or there are of course n number of various consulting firms. Now these consulting firms, they have their clients as various financial institutions or various banks, to whom they provide services of risk management or services of model management, or improving the model or maintaining the model or building governance around the model, right? So two kind of companies that you can broadly classify. One is consulting, the other is the captive bank itself. And when it comes to profile, there can be of two types. One is related to financial modeling, the other related to risk reporting, right? Apart from that, it's not just the risk management world where a FRM certified person can go, because with a lot of knowledge of statistics, quants, and also the financial products, there are other jobs openings which are always open to FRM people, like you know modeling of, let's suppose, a callable bond. How will the yield structure of a callable bond vary with time? If there is a option involved, what happens if the option is exercised by the bond issuer? How will the structure look like? So these kind of these are pure financial modeling jobs, right? When I say financial modeling, it's this one is probably just related to the derivative part of it, less of quantitative knowledge, more deep domain and financial knowledge. Okay, so that aspect is always available. I'll just take a pause to know if there are any questions related to specific career opportunities when it comes to FRM certifications. You can unmute and speak, or you can type in your questions.
Yeah, so I have another question. So, well, actually, I'm from I'm from investment bank background. Like, I
Hmm.
am in middle office operations,
Hmm.
uh, working for equity derivatives, and now I'm a business analyst.
Hmm.
Uh, what I want to understand is, because you said after the certification, 2 years of exam,
Hmm.
we need another 2 years of experience. So,
Hmm.
what exactly is the experience I need to showcase in order to be
Sure, sure.
certified?
So we are going to come to that question. So that is a one most common question that is there among participants, that what kind of experience will work, not work, and all, right? First of all, let's set the timelines, right? 2 years of work experience. It can be before you give level 1 exam, or it can be after you give level 2 exam, or it can be in between. It doesn't matter when you had that experience. Okay, first of all, like, there is no worries about timelines, that when, for what, and when, which period you had that experience in. Second of all, the type of experience they will be looking for is related to financial domain. Okay, it can be working for a bank, working for a investment bank, it can be working even for a IT firm like Infosys or Wipro. Given that, with it, if you're working for a IT firm, you are supporting a financial institution, right? In probably supporting them as a service industry, supporting them in terms of IT, supporting them in resolutions of their software issues. Even those kind of experience will work. So all in all, any kind of experience, if it's related to finance, that should clear you through. The this experience requirement is not hard coded in terms of type of experience. Of course, the timeline of 2 years is fixed, but the type of experience, if it's related to finance, it will work. I've seen people who had experience in sales, credit card sales, right? Even those people experience goes through, because they showcase it like, okay, they're working for banks, they have knowledge of the financial products, how they work, how they are built, and whatever whatnot. So basically, any kind of experience, if it's related to the finance domain overall, okay, need not be specific to any risk management experience. Okay, so kind of experience that is uh, something which is quite open, right? I have not seen anyone facing challenge in getting certifications post getting their exam clear, right? So basically, the way it works is, let me just put a more detail to it. So what they expect is, they will basically, for you, that after you clear the exam, you write a essay, right? A two-page essay on why you did FRM, how your job opportunities related to finance, and how expect to move ahead in your career once this you get this FRM certification. So that kind of subjective essay is something you have to write and submit along with your experience uh, certificate and all, and then you will get certified, right? So basically, you can always write your essay in your perspective. So that's why I say, if I have not seen anyone having issue with the certification process once the exams are clear. Somebody is asking, how is IT FRM help? So of course, if you would have heard something called fintech, right now, I will say, being in a finance domain doesn't give you a good salary. It doesn't give you a good career perspective. Being in just IT doesn't give you that good a scale of growth. It's a combination of both. If you know IT, if you know if you know a programming language, for example, uh, may it be Python or SAS or any older ones, along with knowledge of all the financial derivatives, various asset classes, their valuation practice, how it is done, their risk management practice. It's a combination of both, which is the most sought after job. The highly paid jobs are the ones which involve people having knowledge of both programming as well as the financial knowledge. Right. Along the way, we'll be, of course, addressing more questions related to the career part of it. Let's just try to dig down more into the FRM curriculum so that you get an idea what you will be going to study, because with that will define what kind of career opportunity there might be. Right. So yeah, anyone can appear for FRM exam. Even undergraduates can appear. FRM level 2 you can appear only if you have cleared level 1. That's it. That's the only condition. Exam is conducted twice a year, once in May and once in November. You can give your level 1 in May and second level in November. Okay. Or if you want to take a break, the maximum allowed break is 3 years. So within 3 years you have to basically clear level 2 as well. Okay. That's how it works. Yeah, topics. Now, what is studied in FRM level 1 or FRM level 2? So as you can see, like part 1 divided in 4 parts. Quantitative analysis. Now I'll say this is less of quantitative and this is more of statistical analysis, right? It's heavily based on statistics. The kind of distributions are there, kind of basics of movement of any price, type of patterns which a data can follow, type of distributions a data can follow, relevant distributions to finance, right? Then linear regression, how it is performed, what it is, probability like Bayes theorem and all that. Hypothesis testing, how can you frame a hypothesis, answer, uh, you know or represent your conclusion based on hypothesis testing. So these kind of topics are there in quantitative analysis. uh, Foundations of risk management, this is a complete theory topic where it's more of economics based theory, where you will learn about various yield curves, various curves which are possible, CAPM model, why risk management is important, what is the role of a chief risk officer or a board of director in risk management, FRM ethics, right? What governance should be there around risk management in a bank. Then some of the financial disasters of the past, like the recession in 2007. Those kind of all theory topics are there in foundations of risk management. Now, financial market and products, this is based on purely finance. Here you will be learning on various products, specifically focusing on derivatives and bonds. Okay, you'll be learning how future forwards, options, swaps, and all these and bonds, all these products work. How are they valued? How the valuations is done, and certain characteristics which can be embedded in there, right? So this is what you will see in FMP or financial markets and products. Now, valuation and risk models, which is the fourth book, it is a combination of your knowledge of finance, which you learned in FMP, and what the statistics that you learned in quantitative analysis. So the combination of both is involved in valuation and risk models. That how you combine knowledge of option with with the knowledge on distribution to do risk reporting of that option. Now, how will you report that? What kind of risk are you facing when you buy that option? Various methods of risk reporting, various method of reporting yield structures, right? So basically more of reporting part. Then specifically, how do you report option Greeks, right? Greeks are something which is used to define risks involved in options. So basically, all in all, the reporting part of it and valuation part of it is something which is there in VAR. The book is called VAR, Valuation and Risk Models, right? So this is broadly what you will be studying in level 1. You can relate the level 1 course to kind of which you study in MBA, like the course structure which is there in MBA. Those guys who have done MBA would be, MBA in finance. Of course, I'm talking about MBA in finance. They'll be more familiar with these topics, whatever topics are described down in these 4 books, right? Part 2 is much deeper, much in detail. When it comes to part 1, it focuses heavily on actually building and actually understanding the models, right? specifically market risk management and credit risk management, right? These two are the most important topics. Operational risk management is something which was introduced a few years back. It doesn't used to be part because operational risk was not given that much important, but right now even operational risk is modeled, right? Operational risk, like risk of having a disease like COVID once again, that is operational risk. Risk of your financial software, right? The system in which you allow your banking clients to do their tradings. What if that software goes down? That is an example of operational risk. So even those are modeled these days, right? And when we talk about operational risk, of course, there's one more thing which is related to various guidelines, international guidelines like Basel and all that. So if there is a Basel guideline that you should keep some amount of capital, they provide some kind of capital requirement to you, that a bank should keep some capital uh, to to sustain liquidity in terms of crisis. So how much capital should you save? Okay, how much capital should be saved if another disease is struck, right? So even that is modeled. So basically financial modeling is performed to calculate what is your capital requirement. I think that is one point I missed when I was discussing on what kind of financial modeling is there. There is a predictive modeling, there's this capital requirement modeling, then modeling which is specifically required by a Basel committee or the the central bank, right? The FED, the Fed in US, or RBI in India, which requires every bank to have, to have some sort of model in place so that they know what their risks are. Okay. So broadly, this is what we'll be studying in level one and level two. So I'll again take a pause to ask if there are any questions related to what kind of the course content is there in the FRM exams. Probabilities, yes. Okay. So if there are no questions, we'll proceed now. Yeah. So first of all, both FRM and level one and level two are 4 hours exam, right? Uh, FRM level one will be conducting is conducted 8 to 12, while level two is conducted 2 to 6, right? That's fixed on same day. They are conducted once in May, once in November. There are 100 questions in level one, 80 questions in level two. Uh, then in this year, like this year specifically in 2021, it's the first time that exam is being handled or being conducted, I must say, in July. And the reason is because in 2020 no exam was conducted. All the 2020 exams were cancelled, so in 2021 they are being conducted 3 times. That is level one only is conducted 3 times, because those students who are already enrolled for 2020 exam will be appearing in 2021 also. But I expect that from next year it will be again back to normal in May and November. Talking about registration fees, there is a one-time enrollment fees of $400, right? Then there is exam fees of $550 each, right? So when you enroll for the first time, you will be paying 550 plus 400 if you enroll early. And early, it means 3 months before the exam date, right? So if the exam is in May, so the general early bird date is 31st of January. If you register before 31st Jan, you will be charged $750. If you register for a May exam after 31st January, you will be charged $750. That is the standard registration. So part one fees and enrollment fees is the first thing that you pay to GARP when you register for FRM exam. And once you clear the level one exam, for level two exam, you just pay the exam fees. The enrollment fees is just one time. Okay. uh, the early bird dates and all, you can probably refer to the GARP website. These details are available over there, because these details are subject to change, specifically in times of COVID. They can always change, right? Exam centers in almost every important uh, and every metro city in India, the exam is conducted. Right, so you can see the list to clarify whether there will be an exam center in your city. Again, this is when it was a normal scenario, so probably it will be best advice to check the GARP website to know if they have added or removed any center. But I don't assume that they will change their exam centers at least. Right. So yeah, the other question that is commonly asked, how much I need to study, right? That is a common question, how much I need to study to clear the exam. So I'll say there are two things. One is clearing the exam just for the sake of it, studying just for clearing the exam. So from that perspective, 2 hours a day should be enough. But 1 month before the exam, it will be 4 to 5 hours every day, right? 2 hours every day. You should be studying 4 to 5 months before the exam, or even 3 to 4 months is enough, right? So it depends, really depends on how fast, how pre-existing knowledge you have. So I'll say 3 to 5 months, depending on your knowledge base, before the exam, that you should start study. Approximately, I'll say 1 to 2 hour every day. But 1 month before the exam, it should be 4 to 5 hours every day, right? For you to clear the exam. And there's no upper limit, as I said. If you want to gain knowledge, gain more knowledge, get into deep dives, then probably you should be investing around 3 hours every day. There is a specific calculator which you will need to buy, because only this type of calculator is allowed inside the FRM exam hall, which is Texas BA2 plus. This is the one I always recommend, Texas BA2 plus. Don't need to buy uh, professional one, because there is no additional feature, at least that is required from FRM exam standpoint. So from FRM exam standpoint, everything is same in all three, right? So yeah, that is something you will need to have. Now, before I talk about the facts, the books, let me talk about the books. That is another query that is very common. So what we suggest is that you read from Schwezer books, right? You get Schwezer books and you study your FRM course from Schwezer books. And the second option that you have is GARP original books, right? So basically, GARP provides you book on payment basis. Basically, the exam registration fees and the enrollment fees doesn't include the cost of books. So if you want original GARP books, you can always order it from GARP website itself. But what is suggested is that the best book which is considered for studying for FRM exam are Schwezer books. So that's what I always recommend, to buy Schwezer books, which are available in most of the uh, this book centers which are there in Delhi, in Mumbai. You can easily find in any of the books or bookstores. And if even for other cities, you can just call up, you can just order online, and those will be delivered to your place. Okay. So yeah, Schwezer books is something which are recommended. Okay, so some of the small facts which are there. Yeah, so around 10,000 FRMs are employed by every major financial institution, right? So basically, uh, every important bank definitely employs FRM designated people. As I said, a bank requires FRM for a lot of things, from model management to risk reporting, right? And all important key positions are there, uh, which require a person to have a FRM certification, right? There are certain profiles which require a person to have a FRM certification, right? That's how the importance of FRM exams have increased, or the certifications, you may say. When we talk about the passing percentages, the level one passing percentages, I'll say an average of 45%. So if 100 people are appearing, 45 will pass. For FRM level 2, it has an average of 55. So if 100 people are appearing, 55 will clear, right? But again, FRM level 2 is appeared only by people who have cleared FRM level 1, so the competition is even higher. So more of FRM exam is more of a relative performance. your performance is just how your other colleagues or other participants in the exam have performed. The way exam results are published, uh, there are sectional cutoffs. So as I showed you, let me just go back to the page. Yeah. So you will need to perform well in all four sections separately. Plus, there is an overall score, not score, but overall performance, which will be judged. Right. So the exam results are provided in quartiles. So you will be either placed in quartile one, quartile two, quartile three, quartile four. Quartile one will mean that you are in top 25%. Quartile 2, you are between 26 to 50. Then quartile 3 is 51 to 75. Then quartile 4 is 76 to 100. If you get quartile 4 in any of the four books, you will not clear the exam, that is for sure. In fact, getting quartile 3 in any of the book will also reduce your chances of clearing. So you will need to be in top 50%, that is quartile 1 or 2 in all four books. Okay, that is when you can expect to pass the exam. I mean, that's how the format in which the exam results are published. Now, of course, there are many big companies which offer jobs to financial FRM certified professionals, right? Some of the companies are listed. If you want, you can take a screenshot, right? Just to, have this at back of your mind that what are the kind of companies, which specifically have profiles on which they require a person to be a FRM professional. Now we will not talk about PRM much. It's just another risk management program, but it's more of related to people who are already in the risk management job. So a person who's already in risk management job, that person can probably go for PRM. Or a person who's already FRM certified might think of going for PRM, but again, PRM is something which is not globally recognized. So it's more specific certification for people who are looking to enhance their skills, right? And who are already in risk management jobs. Right. Talking about EduPristine. So of course, EduPristine is a institute which provides training on various financial courses, including FRM, right? Uh, which is one of the flagship training program of EduPristine, along with CFA. CFA is also one of the more important training program provided by EduPristine, right? So the way in which EduPristine provides the FRM course is very detailed, right? You will have 5 hour sessions of various topics. You will have around 15 to 16 classes of each of 5 hours, right? Apart from that, there will be crash course class. I think three crash course classes of around 5 to 6 hours. Again, you will be provided study material, right, which will be hard copy as well as soft copy also. You will get access to EduPristine portal where you can, go back and rewatch some of the classroom, the session which was conducted. Let's suppose you didn't 100% clearly understand one of the topic, or you missed half an hour of this 5 hour session in between, you can always go back to EduPristine portal and rewatch the entire video which is uploaded over there. So if a class is conducted on Sunday, by Tuesday or Wednesday you will have that recording of that class which is uploaded over there, right? Then after every class, it so basically you will receive certain question banks, right? So based on whatever topic that is covered in the last class. Okay, this will really help you practice of what you have studied in the previous class. Uh, Education also provide trainings to some of the corporate companies as listed here, like KPMG, ENY. Uh, then yeah, there is also a class which is specifically conducted on soft skill training. This is an additional class which is conducted apart from FRM course on soft skill training. Right. Yeah, as I was talking about the EduPristine LMS menu or the online portal as it is called, you can even ask your doubts over there. If you have certain question which you are unable to solve, you can post your question, and someone from EduPristine faculty will, solve that question and resolve your doubt. Okay. You can see the course structure, schedule, upcoming classes, what is the study material, and you can also go back and see the recorded lectures. Okay, of course, you can post your query anytime. And this is the email ID care@education.com, which you can, always email if you are facing any kind of difficulty related to the content, faculty, administrative, IT, or any other kind of issue. Uh, right. So of course, the testimonials or feedbacks have been great when it comes to the students who have taken through the FRM or CFA program, training programs, with the average score being 4.7 out of 5. EduPristine also provides placement assistance. Uh, Again, you can, get in touch with the EduPristine admin to, to know more about this detail. As I said, there is a soft skills class which will help you prepare for interviews and all, right? And to know exact details, probably you can also reach out to EduPristine admin on how exactly the placement assistance and all works. Since these are professional courses, right? FRM is a professional course. It's directly related to job. I mean, people do it to either enhance their current job or to land into a lucrative job, right? So that's why it always becomes easier, to get that sort of risk management or that kind of finance job that you're looking for once you are FRM certified. Uh, Talking about the training highlights, there will be 15 classes of 5 hours each. So in total, 75 hours of classes. Classes are conducted on weekend only, either Saturday or Sunday. So you can, there are two kind of batches which are generally there. One batch can be of only Sunday classes, right? Classes will be happening over next 15 Sundays, or probably Saturday, Sunday class. So there will be two classes being conducted in that week, right? So Saturday Sunday batch generally goes on for around a bit less than 2 months. The only Sunday class batch will probably go on for 3.5 months. Then revision or as I said, crash course classes. There are three classes where the entire course is revised with important questions being discussed, right there. And then there are mock tests which are provided. You can go for online classes and you can go for classroom classes also. So I'll just take a pause if to know if there are any questions related to the course content, the course structure, FRM in general.
So yeah, my next question is, if
Hmm?
whatever training is being given, like whatever hours you specified, is
Uh-huh.
that going to be for, like, everything will be taught together for level 1 and level 2, or like, it's separated? Once level 1 is completed, again my training will
Yeah. So
resume.
basically, this is of course for level one is separate, for level two will be separate, right? So you go through only level one first of all, right? So only level one course, and the classes are bifurcated by subject. So you will have five classes of 5 hours each for quants. You'll have five classes for FMP, right, or financial markets and products. Three classes for VAR and two classes. So all these 15 classes are just for FRM level one. FRM level
Understood.
two will be a different course altogether. Okay.
Understood. So I have to register twice, once for
Y-
part 1 and part 2. Got it.
Yes. Yeah.
uh yeah, like, I stay in Bangalore, so like you guys have locations in Bangalore as well, right? For
Right. Right. So the location which is currently there is in Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad. Right.
You have any idea where is it in Bangalore? Like I'm just curious to know.
I won't be sure, to be honest. I'll
No problem.
know. I won't be sure where exactly it is. Probably you can check the EduPristine website to know the exact location of the Bangalore office.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll check that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
30. And what's the cost of this course charged by you guys for this training program?
Yeah. So for the course again, you'll have to get back to EduPristine admin. So I am a faculty with EduPristine. So to be honest, I won't be aware exactly of the core of the fee structure and the way it is charged. So let me just check. Is anyone from EduPristine admin available on the call? Okay. Oh, that's fine. So, see, this is probably more of a knowledge sharing seminar. So, what I expect is someone from EduPristine to get in touch with you on the details you probably would have shared, for registering for the seminar, right? And you can clear your doubts regarding the fee structure, regarding what kind of batch, when it is about to start, right? When is the next batch starting? Will it be Saturday, Sunday, or Sunday only batch? These kind of plannings are done by the admin. So basically they will let you know and clarify those sort of questions.
Right. One last question I have.
Yeah, sure.
Uh, so this portal access,
Uh-huh.
the portal access you spoke about. So suppose
Uh-huh.
suppose if I give the exam and I don't clear and I want to retake the exam for part one. So for how long will I have this portal access?
Yeah. So basically, so this is what I should have mentioned. So basically, once you enroll for this training program of FRM level 1, you will have an annual access for entire 1 year. You will have the access. It doesn't matter you clear or don't clear the exam. You will still have the access for 1 year.
Got it.
Also, let's suppose you started with one batch, and in between you missed one or two classes, and I said you have option of going back and checking the recordings. Along with that, you also have an option to attend those missed classes with another batch. Since this enrollment is for 1 year, so any kind of batch which is starting within this 1 year, any kind of class sessions which are being conducted in 1 year, you can always attend those.
So if I want to re-attend, I can re-attend the same class
Yeah. As
in
I
next
said, it's
batch.
available
Okay.
for 1 year, so you can re-attend also. Yeah.
Uh, Hitesh, myself Sachin.
Yeah.
Actually, I would like to ask one thing here, because though
Mm-hmm.
I understood entire structure of the course and the career, where we can make our career.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know something related to me. Okay, I am BCom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And currently I'm working into HR operations. Okay.
Okay.
So as one of the criteria is 2 year relevant experience, and you also
Mm-hmm.
mentioned like it should be either anything related to finance.
Finance, right.
So like me, though I'm interested in move into
Mm-hmm.
risk related profile, but
Mm-hmm.
will it add like how can I move on then in this situation? Because
So
I'm
first
currently,
question will be, which company are you part of?
so I am into banking industry only.
Banking only, right? So see, probably then this thing might work for you. Why? Because once you clear the exam, right, and you get
Internal job.
yeah, you can get internal movement first of all, right? And once you get the internal movement, probably then your experience might be uh, counted. Okay. So as I said, see, even undergraduate students appear, right? So
Hmm.
people who have just come up in first year or second year, even those guys don't know where they want to go, don't want to go, but they have an inclination to go in the financial role or risk management role. So this being FRM certified will help you get or at least apply for that profile, right? You will be eligible to sit in the interview. You will be able to answer the questions which are there in the interview, right?
Yeah.
questions related to derivatives or risk management practice and all that. So this gives you a boost in terms of your resume, your profile. Okay, so if you're looking for a change, then definitely this will help. Okay, and certification is a later stage, right? Even if you clear the FRM level 1 exam, right, and you haven't appeared for level 2, even then you can start applying for various roles. Okay, because
Mhm.
once you write in your resume that okay, you are FRM level 1 cleared, that's what you can write, right? You cannot write you are FRM certified, but you can write cleared FRM level 2 in this year. So even that will add weightage and you will be eligible for certain kind of profiles which you are not right now. Okay, so people
Okay.
end up getting into risk management or modeling jobs just after clearing FRM level 1 also.
Okay. And one another question is, like students like us,
Mhm.
I completed my graduation somewhere in 2005, right? And since
Uh-huh.
then, I did not enroll for any of the program
Uh-huh.
for study, right? Though
Uh-huh.
office trainings are there, those are the uh, minimal things, but I
Uh-huh.
did not enroll for any of the program. So student like us, though you mentioned the timings also, the
Mhm.
daily hours it is required 2 hours,
Mhm.
but student like us, how much time is required? And
So one thing I like to say in that is that see, uh, once you take part in a training program, right? Specifically, I will talk about EduPristine because I take classes for that. So what we do is essentially we start from the minimal basics. For I just to give an example, if I'm talking about statistics, right? So we'll start with telling you that how a mean is calculated for 10 numbers. You add all the 10, divide by 10. That's how basics from it is started. Now the best scenario will be that once you are attending the lectures,
hmm,
so between the lectures, right, between the first and the second lecture, if you give more time studying what was taught in the first lecture, this will help your case a lot, and this will be a necessary thing compared to a person who's already has a knowledge. That person might attend the classes and start his or her true preparation once all classes are over, then start allotting time. But for students who are out of touch, like you mentioned, you know covering what has been taught in each class, solving questions, reading chapters, giving a bit more time, probably if not 2 hours then 3 hours, this will help, right? But it should be step by step. That's the more important part, right? Which distinguishes someone who is out of touch compared to someone who is in still with involved with studies. So probably step by step, taking one class at a time, taking one topic at a time will really help. Giving some more time, your personal time to study, like giving 3 hours instead of two, of course that will add value. But overall I'll say it's not that difficult if you have basic subjective knowledge of things, or basically I'll probably say basic aptitude, then you should be able to grasp all the concepts.
okay.
Uh, Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hitesh sir, I have a question. I'm actually interested in doing FRM because I have completed my chartered accountancy. CA
Uh-huh.
is an Indian qualification.
Correct.
I plan to work in foreign.
Hmm.
So I wanted to ask, have there been stories of people, your students, who have done FRM, cleared part one, and got a direct job in foreign, especially in Europe or US,
Yeah.
and which countries
Hmm.
otherwise have a good opportunities for FRM qualification?
Sure. Yeah. So first of all, if I talk what have been historically, I've seen there have been many people who are aspiring CA or in between CA or cleared CA who go for FRM course, right? Of course, most of the people who are CA clear and go for FRM or CFA, these kind of courses, do not intend to stay in India, because if they intend to stay in India, they won't be looking for these programs, right? So their sole motive is to specifically get into a bank in Europe or in US. So I have seen few students who have been to Australia, right? once they are CA plus FRM clear. Then I've seen a few cases people moving in Canada also. There were students who were actually working in Canada and pursuing FRM course, or people in Dubai who are working over there internationally and pursuing FRM course. So there are existing students or past students which have done, because this will help them, because internationally, right, when we talk about US or Europe, over there the banking structure requires a person to be FRM, so the scope of getting a job is very high, right? So I'll say it will be the right platform for you.
Okay, thank you, sir. My second question is, do you provide some crash course for people who are already quite at a good level in some of the
Uh-huh.
chapters? Because there are some things over here, like you said, there are
Mhm.
even undergraduates can join. So there are
Correct.
some chapters which I personally feel I'm an expert in. So I just require training in the other
Yes,
chapters.
yes. So basically, again, once the EduPristine admin team gets in touch with you, you can inquire about the crash course. But yes, there is a crash course program. I'm aware of it. So yeah, you can probably check in more details with them.
Mm, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Any other thoughts before we close? We are at the end of the hour now.
Yeah, hi, this is Mandeep.
Yeah.
And my question is just want to add on this the existing question which is asked by one of my friend.
Hmm.
What if someone has done the CA and has done the FRM as well and get the job in Europe or US, as he said?
Hmm.
What about the people who has done only the FRM course and not any other professional course for
Hmm.
going for getting a job in Europe or
Okay.
Australia for that matter?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So see, there have been people who have done FRM course and moved outside. Again, as I said, I have seen cases people moving in Australia and Europe, or probably Canada is more that I have seen. And the examples that I'm giving, people with CA plus FRM, though there are very rare students, right? There are ones and twos, rarely, which I see in every 2 to 3 batch. There is one or two students like that who are CA plus FRM, and who have planning to move outside or already moved outside. So most of the people who are doing FRM, right? One of the important tasks is not just getting a job in India, but at least applying outside. And of course, there have been stories people were able to move outside, because if you go and apply in, let's suppose, in Europe with the MBA degree of India, your chances of getting selected is almost negligible. But if you have a globally recognized certifications like FRM, your profile will add weightage. They will know that what exactly you will be hired for. Compared to an MBA graduate, they don't know what kind of skill set you are bringing in. With FRM, they'll know what kind of skill set you are bringing in and what exact profiles they want you for. Okay, so that sort of scenario really helps, and that is why there have been cases who have of students who have moved outside post doing these certification courses. But again, it really depends how strong knowledge you have, how strong experience you take, right? Because they'll expect you to have some sort of experience. It's not that undergraduate student does FRM and directly goes outside. Those kind of chances are a bit slim, because what they'll expect is student at least have some working knowledge also related to the field along with the certification. That is where your resume becomes a heavy hitter, and you get a chance of actually moving out.
Yeah, thank you, sir. That answers my query.
Mm, sure. Okay, guys, again, if you have any other question, you can, again, EduPristine admins will reach out to you. If you have any query related to course fees and all that, you can answer, you can let them know. Any other question related to FRM course and all, you can also let them know. Probably they'll reach out to me and I'll be able to answer. Okay, so thanks everyone for joining in this seminar. Good luck for your future endeavors. Bye.